we were talking about you saying, uh, you heard the flute on the
Right,
chimney. Man, you know what? I remember when I was working here, I was going with this girl named Maria, and I would be at the desk, and when she come to pick me up, I would always ask, "Hey, come on in, just sit down. I ain't coming to no funeral." I said, "It ain't even like that. This is, it's not your traditional old like gothic looking bodies everywhere from the moment you walk through the door. It's real decor. It's nice." Okay, so she comes in, and I get her to sit down at the couch, and I'm at the phone, and like you say, the flute goes on, and blue doo, and man,
right.
she jumps up, boat out of here. Yeah, yeah.
Now I tell you what was scary, kind of, and that's from being a little kid. Is back in the day we had 818 East 105th Street. It was a house,
Mhm.
and for a couple of years we lived upstairs.
Mhm.
So my
Mhm.
brother, who's like 10 years older than me, I might have been like 6 years old. So we're talking about 16, 17-year-old.
Mhm.
He would get mad at me because in the middle of the night, I would go get up out of my bed, come downstairs into the funeral home part,
Mhm.
drink water, okay, and come back upstairs and disturb me.
Mhm.
So one day, one night, he kind of like laid out for me, and then as I would come downstairs, he jumped out and scared me. Now,
Mhm.
I'm generally not scared of funeral homes. I mean, I've been in
Mhm.
there all my life, but
Mhm.
for some reason, that kind of stands out.
Mhm.
That was it. And the old funeral home was kind of creepy.
Mhm. Mhm.
It was kind of creepy. But my father always told me that you don't have to worry about anything in the funeral home
Mhm.
for two reasons.
Mhm.
One is, we're an old Jewish funeral home here.
Mhm.
Because the old Straughters was the old Berkowitz Kuhlman funeral home. Well, I
Mhm.
think it was just Berkowitz then.
Mhm.
And in the Jewish tradition, they put scrolls on each one of the doors.
Mhm.
It's been painted over. It's a scroll that is in a little tube,
Mhm.
and you don't really know what it is. My father says, "You see, in here is a scroll in here, and
Mhm.
this is supposed to protect anything that enters the threshold.
Mhm.
Anything. So if
Mhm.
anything's chasing you, just run through the threshold. You'll be all right."
You gotta
So,
get there.
the door. Just run through the door thing. You'll be all right.
I tell you, yo, it's like working in this field, man. Your mind just play tricks on you, man. I can remember working in like I think '86. I was working for Midwest Transportation. Uh, Jesse Horn had the contract for the county coroner's office, and oh my God, what a joke! I mean, woo! But that was the old morgue on Cornell behind University,
Oh yeah, I know
and
it well.
and buddy, let me tell you,
I know it
that
well.
was one of the most gothic morgues I've ever been. You know, you,
Nah, bro. I've been to morgue in Philadelphia.
yeah.
I've been to morgue in Detroit. And I'm not talking about in the 80s and the 90s. I'm talking about when I was a kid, like in the 70s.
Mm.
I was in Philadelphia over one of my aunt's. She got a funeral home there. And I remember going on removal with her now, or her husband. How was I? I must have been like 8 or 9 years old.
Mm.
And I just remember that place was like really, compared to what I've been seeing for my life up to that point, that was
Mm.
eye opener.
Mm. Mm.
Now that was eye opener.
And people always ask me, man, ain't you scared? I mean, nah. But one of the things I think I understand about this industry is that it's not for everybody. And I think you'll know the first day if you coming back, especially if you at an active funeral home.
Well,
Uh,
I figured maybe the first week. You got to
first
give
week.
yourself a good week
Yeah.
because you come in here at certain times, you're like, oh, this isn't so bad.
Right.
But then it just takes that one time a week that you realize that this is not a typical
Mm-mm.
occupation.
Mm-mm. Especially when you go on a removal and first call, and man, I can recall, man, going to some people's house, man, and they always on the third floor.
Yeah.
300 some pounds.
Well, that I don't do removals no more. I graduated from that back maybe about 20 years now.
Well, I remember the days though, I was in a lot better shape than I am now. But look, let's go and let's talk about the funeral business and COVID-19. The pandemic hit when in 20 was it 2021?
2020.
Yeah, and it changed the game. It changed the game, and wow, you watching funerals on TV, on the viewing drive-through thing. What do you think about all that? Where
Well,
you?
I mean, the drive-through viewings and all that,
Mm-hmm.
they're not really new. Okay, I think the more important, the more things that really changed the game is how everybody interacted with each other.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, we could only have funerals with X amount of people in
Right.
it.
Right.
And that caused a lot of folks not to be able to come
Right.
and grieve their loved one
Right.
like they wanted to. They
Right.
had to look at a screen,
Mm-hmm.
and streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Streaming before 2020
Mm-hmm.
was not a good stream.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
because we didn't practice it.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have internal streams.
Mm-hmm.
We have cameras in the walls. Stuff
Mhm,
that you can
mhm.
actually see or
Mhm.
get a feel for what's going on in the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
So that and the fact that there was just so many funerals and deaths,
Mm.
it became overwhelming for a minute there.
Mm.
Yeah.
So on average, so your caseload per se a month is what? Average month.
Well, I think we do about a funeral a day.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you're talking maybe about 30.
Mm-hmm. And that increased by with COVID, like how much?
It was hard. It was so mind-boggling that I couldn't even tell you a number.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because we were just so busy
Mm-hmm.
handling what was before us that we didn't look and see
Mm-hmm.
exactly how many was going on. But I would say easily more than double. It was more than double.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh.
Now, were there increases in the prices of funerals due to COVID? Was there uh, 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 an increase in the process of embalming and stuff like that?
No.
No.
Number one, as COVID hit so quickly that nobody could adjust.
Mm-hmm.
And the funeral home is regulated. We're a regulated business. All funeral homes are regulated
Mm-hmm.
by the Federal Trade Commission.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're real busy today, my prices are the same today as they was last week when we weren't busy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because we have a thing called a general price list, and that's what we go by.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, if COVID became something that we had to deal with on the same level in 2020
Mm-hmm.
forever,
Mm-hmm.
there has to be an increase
Mhm,
in something
mhm,
because
mhm.
we have to get more help,
Mhm.
more supplies,
Mhm.
more facilities.
Mm-hmm.
We were, and I'm not just speaking for Straughters, but the funeral business as a whole
Mm-hmm.
was probably at their limit. Okay,
Mhm.
and we're actually past their limit.
Mhm.
We were making um, heroic situations
Mm-hmm.
for,
Mm-hmm.
for to accommodate what we could for that pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about in 2020 to 21.
Mm.
Thank God things started getting better in
Mhm.
22, and now it's 23.
Mm-hmm.
Things are a little better now.
Mhm.
I understand that there's a little upsurge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And, I hope people are more careful this time.
Mm-hmm. I think they're more prepared because it just took us by storm, and again, precautionary wise, they just went all the way to the left with it, where it's social distancing and
Oh yeah.
and it just changed the whole mores of traditional mourning and stuff like that, and uh, the funeral homes. So let me ask you a question because I saw a funeral. The lady was sitting up at her dining room table nursing a beer,
Hmm.
and it's a novelty thing, I guess you could say. I don't know. Would Strowder's entertain something like that?
No, I don't believe that we will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's certain funeral homes that have certain themes that they attend to.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
we are a traditional
Mhm.
funeral home.
Mhm.
You know, our funerals are mostly traditional. I
Mhm.
mean, true, families can come in and make adaptations to
Mhm.
their funeral.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong, we're not stringent, but we're not going to have people sitting on thrones with crowns on their heads and
Right.
stuff like that.
Probably not. Yeah,
Right, right.
yeah.
So, no, you're going to find a traditional
Mhm.
funeral here at Strowder Funeral Home.
Mhm. Mhm. Well, shoot, man. Hey, this has been a heck of an interview. Listen, from what I understand, your wife has a travel agency business, and before we conclude this interview, I want to, because I'm about Black enterprise, man.
Okay.
And can you tell me some about and how you can get in touch with her and who she is and just.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, my wife started a travel agency about 5 years ago. Her name is Geraldine, and her travel agency is Geraldine's Travel Agency. And she specializes in all types of travels. I mean, she does girl trips, cruises, um, all inclusives. You know, she took me for my birthday to Cancun several weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that she is very committed to what she does. She's tries to do the best she can for her clients. So if anybody has any travel needs, please
Mm-hmm.
you can come to geraldinstravelagency.com.
Mm-hmm.
That's JEROLYNS
Mm-hmm.
travel TRAVEL
Mm-hmm.
agency AGNCY.com. All put together.
Mm-hmm.
Or call her at 440. Oh my God, I forgot her number. 318 5211. 440 318 5211. She'll be
Okay.
happy to help you out, whatever.
Okay. So look, before we get out of here, I gotta plug the book. It's called oh my god, the glare is crazy.
Yeah, well, I want you to do this. Oh no, I thought that was the plastic. I was going to say, just take the plastic off.
It's called Rational Thinking Course. It's a complete, comprehensive study guide, text manual to how to navigate your way through feelings, thoughts. Uh, I'm the guinea pig. It worked on me. It's worked on 1,000 students. If you have life issues, please, you can find this book on Rational Thinking Course uh, .com, and that's my website. And the book is $20, and I'm gonna tell you, it's the best $20 you could ever spend. So please plug me, help me, support me, and this is couch time, and I'm gonna keep bringing you the real, man, and that's what this show is all about. So with that being said, hey man, thank you for coming on.
Oh man,
Great interview,
thanks for having me. I
and
appreciate that.
please be with us, man. We're gonna do some more.
All right.
All right.